What's going on? How are you all? What's going on? What's going on? I see so many of you came in early, which is really cool. My VIPs get in early every time. It's almost like I wish we could have like a private part of the live stream where because when YouTube ultimately puts this on for everybody to see, they see even the private part. But I wish we could somehow make like the first 8 minutes totally private. Nobody will ever see it. It's just between the VIPs and all of us. But I don't know how to really do that. I'm not really sure. By the way, so let me just, we have so many of you. I really appreciate every single one of you being here. This is so cool. Real quickly, just let me go down the list here. We got Hans, Fred Flintstone, Mark Weiner, Leah, Dan, Robert with Roads of Life, Sharon, Debbie, RC's Road, Kimberly. So we got G Burabudio. So let me do this first of all, real quickly, guys, and I appreciate every single one of you being here. It's so cool. If you don't know me, Dr. Dave, the RV dummy. But in case anybody's watching, this is mainly for replay viewers. I got to do this early on because if you're wondering how all these people got in early, they're on my VIP list, and they get up-to-the-minute notifications when we're going on and the exact link. So if you want to be on the VIP list, here you go. Just text VIP to 801-893-3810. You might want to know how much this costs. It is free. However, I may be capping it at some point to keep it kind of like a private club between us, like the first people to get in. So I'm not sure yet how many I'm going to cap it at, but it's not going to go on forever, most likely. And once you're a VIP, always a VIP. You don't get booted out, unless, of course, you cause trouble. But you're not going to get booted out unless you're really bad. So I will make you go to the back of the class if you're bad. But text to that number, 801-893-3810 VIP. I will never abuse your phone number. I will never spam you. I will never sell your name. You can, the VIPs that are on now can attest to the fact that I'm very, very, very respectful of your phone number, and I only use it for notifications like this. That's all I won't use it for anything else, except to join my brand new multi-level. No, I'm kidding. Stop. I'm kidding. So real quickly, Dan Lynch, if you're still, Dan, are you still on here? During the pre-show, Dan actually posed a question which I really liked. He wanted to know if anybody is winter camping right now. So if you're winter camping right now, go ahead and put something in the chat bar right there, the thread. And I'd love to know who's winter camping, because Yoko and I are probably going to be taking Sireny, that's the name of our Class B, Sireny, out of the storage. The storage is only like 10 minutes away from here. We store it indoors. And we'll probably do some winter camping in the next couple of weeks or so. And I'll let you know. What chances are we'll be going south, like into southern Utah, maybe into Arizona, someplace someplace like that. That gets a little bit warmer than it is here in Salt Lake. So Dan, you'll be in December. Where will you be? Let's see. So Dan Rhodes is a full-timer in an old fifth wheel. Gotta love it. Gotta love the old fifth wheels. They just keep going, don't they? If you keep them in good shape, they're gonna keep rolling down the road. So winter camping in Florida. Well, that's always great. That makes a lot of sense. 2 Decembers ago, not last December, but 2 Decembers ago, Yoko and I actually had a wedding to go to in Florida, in the Orlando area. So we actually drove Sireny down to Florida to the wedding and made it a whole trip. And it was really, really cool to get out of the cold. And get down to Florida in the winter camping was really cool. We had a great time. RC, North Central PA. Are you camping there? You're camping in North Central. Wow, winter camping in North Central PA. Yeah, North Central PA definitely gets cold. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I want to ask you guys something else. We'll continue with the camping thing too. But I've got a brand new mic. Thanks to Robert over at the Roads of Life channel. I asked him, his audio quality sounds so good, and I asked him, and he recommended a mic. Now I don't think I got the exact one that Robert recommended, but very, very similar. So how do I sound? I mean, does my Is my audio coming in okay? Can you hear me? And it's the quality decent. I'm trying to, for the new year, 2020, I'm trying to step up the quality. I'm going to step up the video quality and the audio quality. So let me know, just make sure you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. And okay, thanks, Leah. Thanks so much. But Robert, you sound amazing. That Robert guy, he is a genius. I want to talk about Robert a little bit in the show because there's something very important happening. Thanks, RC. Thanks so much. Thanks, Debbie. Well, here's the question. Here now, it's going to be very tough to ask this or to answer this, but can you tell a difference between like previous live stream shows and this? I mean, is it something that did you almost say to yourself, "Wow, his voice sounds so much better because he's got better quality mic"? Or is it just because I asked you can hear me, but you're not really sure? I'd love to know. I'm just curious. Hey, Jared's here. Jared, how you doing? Great to see you, my friend. Hans, audio is good. So it's rich. It's rich. It feels rich. The sound is rich. I like that. I think it's better. Video is really good tonight. Oh, cool. Yeah, because I've got really high speed internet where I am right now in my home in Salt Lake. Whereas last time I was at the mercy of the Wi-Fi in the hotel room. So I'm glad it's much better. Thanks. The shotgun. Yeah, it's a shotgun. So let me just show you what it looks like. And here's. I don't know if you. Yeah. I can't stretch it too far, but it's a shotgun mic. Just like Robert, I understand Robert had a shotgun wedding many years ago, but that's a whole different story. By the way, also, I can tell, Sharon can tell a difference. I sounded pixel. I know exactly what you mean when you say I sounded. I understand the translation. Wilma's here. Thanks, Wilma, for being here. But okay, I'm glad it sounds better. We'll actually see how it sounds when the live stream is actually played back and it's no longer live. I wanted to just real quickly, there were a few people that messaged me that loved the RV bracelet that Des made me a few weeks ago. So I just want to show it to you again. It's great energy. We're calling it the RV bracelet just because it's giving good energy to me as an RVer and many other people that express interest in it. So if you want to get one like this, just go to my friend Dez's website. I think it's Beads by Dez, and Dez is DEZ. beadsbydez.com. He said if you mention the RV Dummy or Dave, 20% off. So I don't even know how much it goes for. I can't remember. It's not expensive at all. But Des wanted me to put the word out because I know a bunch of you have been asking about this. The bracelet, the RV bracelet, isn't it beautiful? I love it. So okay, now what I did, I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. I put word out. I wanted to ask you guys a question because I know, and I want to talk about Robert's latest video in a couple minutes too. He's got a great video that was just released, I think, yesterday. If you still haven't bought your RV, or if you're thinking about getting another RV, you might want to check his video out. It's called something like new versus used or something like that. He does a debate back and forth with his alter ego about whether it's better to buy used or new. So my question to you guys is, hey, Traveler 320 from snowy Alaska. Well, I guess so. Yeah, Alaska. I mean, Alaska. What do you expect? It's snowy there. But I hope you're all good. Hope you're nice and warm. And Fred Flintstone, I just love it. But every time Fred is here, and he comes with Barney and Wilma and the whole gang. Okay, so getting back to, I posed a question out there. There is a, what would you say is the number one thing, if you're buying a used RV, the number one thing you need to check out and make sure there's not a problem with this? Because if there is, it could be something that you'll never be able to have fixed. So what do you think? Guys, okay, you buy a used RV, the number one thing you need to have checked out, or you should check it out if you can. The number one, in my opinion, in the RV dummy, and I'm only an RV dummy, but in my opinion, so Mark Weiner got it correct. Ding, 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 ding. Leaks in an RV. And Wilma got it right too. Check the tires and the suspension. That's a good one too, but I think leaks. See, the tires and suspension, right, I got you on that. And if you're buying an RV used and you can look at the tires and the suspension, and even if you miss something, you can always easily get them replaced. Let's face it, you can buy new tires. Suspension is not cheap, but you can get a suspension replaced. However, if you buy an RV that has a leak somewhere, and some of these leaks don't even surface until like it's too late almost. Like it leaks in and it gets like the roof and the ceiling all wet and the side panels. But sometimes you might not even know it unless it's a really, really hard rain. And the RV might have to be facing like a certain direction or tilting a certain direction, slanting a certain direction. But if you don't check it out for leaks, and I mean, you got to do like a serious hose test, and not only a hose test, but make sure you take the RV and make sure you slant it in different directions. Because my old RV, the one that burnt down, my old RV, if it was slanted in a certain direction and it rained hard, water would just start pouring in. Now, it was very hard to figure out where it was coming from. It was really difficult. But if I would have tested it slanting the other way or maybe flat surface, it never would have surfaced. So I can't stress this enough. Water damage, water leaking, when you're buying a used RV, I would recommend hiring an RV tech and paying them for their time and having them check for leaks, active leaks, old leaks. But again, Mark, thanks for the answer there. You got it right. That is absolutely the most important thing. There are other things that are super important, but God, you get yourself a leaker and it's going to be a nightmare forever probably. They're not easy to fix. Okay, so I also want to, and by the way, if anybody has a question, throw it out there. Oh, yeah, RV Butterfly said that. So, yeah, I should have said this earlier on. RV Butterfly, I love you. Thank you so much. Make sure you give us a like. If you're on here, whether you're watching the replay later or you're live here with us live here, give us some thumbs ups, give us some likes. It does help the channel. It really does help the channel. I just saw something. Yeah, Matt's RV reviews Matt is totally right. Water damage. Like water damage will damage a house as well. You can really do major damage in a house if there's water damage that goes unchecked or unmitigated. In an RV, just think everything's more compact, everything's smaller. It'll ruin the whole thing. Plus, not only will it ruin the whole thing, but you don't want to be in a thunderstorm or in a heavy rainstorm and you're sleeping in the middle of nowhere and water is pouring in on you. You don't want that. Please, please, please check out my number one concern. Now, I believe in used RVs. I've bought 2 used RVs already, so I'm a used RV guy. I'm all for, but you still have to check them out. You have to check them out really well. Okay, so I want to share this with you guys. What did Robert says, mighty damage from little leaks grow. Yes, absolutely. Very, very, very true. So thanks for the thumbs up. If you still have not given me the thumbs up, give me the thumbs up now. Okay, come on. Okay, some people say I'm weird, but the RV dummy never claimed to be normal. Okay, when you got in this deal, the RV dummy never said he was a normal human being. So put up with it. Please put up with it. So I want to share this with you. As you know, on Tuesday, I have a new video that comes out every Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, where I am 7 a.m. where I am 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Okay, here's what I'm going to share with you guys. This coming Tuesday, it's going to be different. It's going to be, some people might say it's going to be weird. Some people, I don't think any of you guys, but some other people that might watch it or get wind of it might be really pissed off. It might be offensive. I want to share this with you. First of all, it's done tongue in cheek for the most part and in fun, but it also is done to help you. So it is serious, but it's not serious. You'll see what I mean. I want to give a tremendous shout out to Robert from over at the Roads of Life. By the way, if you're not subscribing to Robert's channel yet, shame on you. He's a great guy. Robert helped me out with the video that's going to be released Tuesday morning. He acted for me. I can't act, so I needed somebody that could help me act. Robert was perfect. He did a great job. Although I tell you, Robert, and this goes on, it's probably more on me. There are going to be some people that are very, very, very upset about this. Very upset. I know it's going to piss people off. So here's what I want to ask you. Please, I'm asking you a favor. I don't ask you guys that many favors, but I'm asking you a tremendous favor now. I'm going to get some bad comments. I'm going to get some people that are trolls that are just pissed off at me. They're going to call me names. You'll see what I mean. So I want you to, if you see any of these from this video that's coming out Tuesday morning, if you see anything like that, could you help me go in and defend me and say, hey, just say something, because there's now I could be totally wrong, but I just feel, based on what I've done in the past and some of the reaction, I feel that I'm going to get some wackos that are very upset, that just don't get it. That just don't get that it's a satire. It's a lampoon. It's tongue in cheek, but it is meant to drive a point home. Matt is asking me, what's the subject? Matt, I hope you're not going to be upset with me, because it might upset some like RV salesman type people. You're not one of those, because I love your stuff, Matt. And I want to make it very clear that this is only going after the shady RV salesmen that are out to rip you off. Matt is not in that category. I can tell you right here that I'm sure of that. I've seen his stuff, and Matt is one of the good guys. Absolutely. But there are some bad ones out there. And this video that's coming out Tuesday will depict what some of the bad ones can do to you. Yeah, Matt. So Matt totally gets it. Like I said, Matt's one of the guys that's really above board, and I make it very clear in the video that not everybody is like this. So I don't want like the good guys to be pissed at me. The bad guys can be pissed because I'm exposing some of the stuff they do, but the good guys will probably want to defend me and say, yeah, there's some really unscrupulous people out there, but I'm one of the good ones. So it's going to help. I think it's going to help the good guys a lot. Matt, thank you very much. Thanks. So yeah, I'm just going to ask you guys if you would go in and if and when the really, really bad comments come against me, just go in and come to my rescue a little bit if you can. That's all I'm asking for. Thanks, Debbie. Thank you so much. Exactly. It's going to be fun because now look, it's possible. Okay, so let me just tell you something else about running a YouTube channel. Some of you have channels. Matt's got a channel. Robert's got a channel. Some others of you have channels. Some are bigger. Some are smaller. Mine's not large. It's medium size. It's not tiny, but it's not one of the real big ones. But running a YouTube channel is not an easy thing to do. And not only are you at the mercy of trolls who are going to come, but I don't care about that, but you're totally at the mercy of YouTube. They've got the algorithm that determines how my videos are going to get out to you and how they're going to get out to people that don't yet know me. And so it's impossible to predict. Sometimes I put a video, I like to think that I put time and energy into all my videos, and I'm not going to release a video that I think is a piece of junk. I'm just not going to do that. Your time is valuable and I respect you, and I'm just not going to do that. However, some are better than others. And sometimes I'll release a video and I think to myself, this is going to be a killer. This thing's going to go like RV viral. And sometimes when I think that, they die. They just fall dead and don't do anything. And then others that you don't really expect get real big, because YouTube decides what videos to push out and which ones to hold back. So I don't really know. I don't know if this is going to get seen. I mean, it might. I just can't. YouTube is very, very, very difficult. It's real tough. You never know what they're thinking, and if they're going to push out your videos or not, or like totally stop your new subscribers from coming in. It's weird. It's very. You do the best you can, but it's really tough to predict what YouTube's going to do. Hey, Don, how you doing? Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Wilma, it's all good. I really appreciate you being on, even though you got to run early. Thanks for being with us, Wilma. It's always great to have you guys. I want to share something else with you. Now, I'm only going to do this on a live stream with my VIPs here. And by the way, if you just came on, if you're not a VIP yet, you got to just send me a quick text to that number and become a VIP, because you'll be privy to all notifications when we do live streams, et cetera, and links and all that kind of stuff. Steve, you need an RV before you get a channel. That's not true. I know there are actually some people out there that have RV channels that really don't have RVs. Some are like in the market for some. There are probably a couple. I think there's one that I know of in particular that pretends he's an RVer, but he's not even an RVer. So you got, but yeah, most of us. I mean, of course, I've got an RV. I'm on my second one, Class B. One time, I don't know if you know the story about my first one, but it literally had a fire and burnt down. But I'll share that with you again sometime if you're newer to my channel, don't know. It's just an incredibly crazy story. But I want to share something with you about running an RV channel. There's just, you get people that just come out of the woodwork. So here, I want to share. This was not a public comment. This is a private comment that somebody sent to my email. He found my email somehow. I guess it's not hard to do. And I'm not going to give his name in fairness because he didn't send this to the public. But this is the kind of thing you have to deal with. So I'm going to read his email to me exactly. He said he didn't say Dear Dave. He just started off. He said, I happened on a couple of your videos today, and I would like to comment for your benefit. So right then and there, somebody is taking the time. They're writing me an email and they're doing something for my benefit. Yeah, like, do you have too much time on your hands, or what's the story here? So he says, I am also a YouTube contributor. If you want to directly engage your audience, look into 3 inches behind the camera lens. Do not watch, in big capital letters, do not watch the video playback screen. The audience is 3 inches behind the camera lens. It will engage your audience a whole bunch better. Good luck. That's what he said to me. Now, this was unsolicited. I mean, this guy just out of nowhere. I didn't know who he was. So I just replied back to him. I said something like, what? You took your time to look up my email and send me a personal note about looking into the camera. What is your motivation? You're really kind, but I just can't believe you would have that much time on your hands. Sorry, I'm curious, Dave. Now, actually, he turned into a kind of a nice guy. We had an email back and forth a lot. He's got a channel. It's not exactly an RV channel, but it's another YouTube channel. And we had a good conversation. But I think what he does, he like, even in a good conversation, he stabs me. He likes to stab. Even if have you ever had somebody like that in your life that they act friendly, but as they're acting friendly, they kind of stab you in the back? Because his last comment to me was something like, hang on, we had a lot of conversation here. So his last comment was, I've been looking at some of your early videos and discovered that your assertion that you are a newbie is accurate. So I think it's kind of like it's not even a left-handed compliment. It's like, yeah, I looked at some of your videos. Yeah, you're right. You're a newbie. Well, I've been RVing now for about 2.5 years. So compared to some of you guys and a lot of people out there, I am a newbie. It's relatively speaking, 2.5 years is not a lot of time. But to take the time to write an email like that and say, yeah, I went back and looked at some of your videos and your assertion is correct. Yeah, you are a newbie. I mean, I don't know if it was that kind, but I went with it. I don't care. He seemed like a good enough guy. But okay, my point is, this is the kind of stuff you have to deal with when you're doing YouTube. And Robert, I don't know if you deal from Roads of Life. I don't know if you're dealing with that to that extent, because your channel, it's not as big, and you're not, I was going to say exposing yourself. You're not exposing yourself to as many people. But when it grows, Robert, and your channel will grow because you're really good. But you're gonna have to deal with all these things. Now, Matt, I'm curious. Matt, you say you get that all the time. So, Matt, are you telling me that people are they're giving you advice like how to make your channel better? Meanwhile, your channel is pretty darn good, but you get these experts who are they're so smart. They're telling you how to make your channel even better. Do you get that, or do you get other bad stuff? I'm curious because I don't know. I mean, it's crazy out there. I get all kind of nutcases. All kind of nutcases messaging me, private messaging me. They get a hold. It's mean advice, right? Matt, what do you do with them? I'm curious. Do you ignore them totally? Do you block them? I'm just again, I'm just kind of spitballing, and sorry if anybody else has to listen to my private conversation, but it's interesting because you all come in from the outside and you don't know, unless you're running a channel also, you can't see what goes on behind the scenes, and a lot of it is not pretty. A lot of it is weird, and then to add to that, we're at the mercy of YouTube and their algorithms or whatever they might be. I'm just curious, Matt, whether like what you do. I'm curious to know how you handle them. Just see. Endless RVing, a little witty sarcasm goes a long way. So here's what I do now. When somebody makes a comment on my YouTube page, I will thank them. So like, let's say they give me some advice that's like unsolicited. They tell me how I'm doing something horrible and I can have a better channel. I thank them very much and I say, this is great. Please tell me where I can send your consulting check to, because this advice was unbelievable. I want to pay you for it. And you know something? They never get back. They go away. They just go right away. Matt says, a lot of times people say I should act more professional. I just thank them for watching and express that this is, yeah, I mean, it's always good to take the high road. I know I learned that in life. Like it doesn't really, and sometimes I do get a little upset, but it doesn't really pay. And it doesn't do anybody any good to like get pissed off at them and get into like a contest, an argument like that. But sometimes you just want to say like, what the, can I say this to you guys? This is not a public, so I say like, sometimes I just want to say like, what the F are you doing? Like, don't you have a life? You got to troll people on YouTube and tell them they're not doing it. I mean, your life must be pretty damn empty if you got to do this, buddy. What is see, Matt says, if you don't like it, he said, so pardon my language, if you have any kids in the room, please. But Matt said, it's funny. He says, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch my channel. I mean, I want to say that to people sometimes, but I keep my channel clean, so I don't really say the word fuck very much. Love me some Matt's RV review. Leave me some Matt's RV. We get all kinds of private conversation here. Yeah, I agree with what Russell said. Matt, and I've seen a lot of Matt's videos, and he's a regular guy. He doesn't pretend to be somebody that he's not. He's a very likable RV sales guy. He's likable, which goes a long way because the honesty shows through, and you can tell when somebody's likable, you want to do business with them. So somebody comes on and tells Matt to be somebody that he's not. And that's the most ridiculous advice ever. Don't ever take advice like that, whether you're running a YouTube channel or whether you're on a dating app and you want to meet a woman or a man, or like, no, I mean, be yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to pretend you're somebody else. It doesn't work. People see right through it. You're supposed to say, we love your channel the way it is. The way it is, FOC. Don't care about anybody's YouTube channel. Want RV info. Flint, what do you want to know? Flint, what do you want to know? You got a whole bunch of RVers right here. So ask a question, Flint. You're free to do that, my man. Debbie says some people were never taught manners. It's easy for them to say whatever they want online. They need to grow up. Yeah, so Matt says to Flint, don't watch my channel. See, that's the thing. You don't come on somebody's show and tell them how to do it. Now, without sounding mean or weird or something, I mean, this is my channel. It's my channel. So when somebody comes on and says, well, I'm going to unsubscribe unless you do this, I say, hey, good riddance. We've got a good group of people here. We talk RVs a lot. We don't always talk RVs. Sometimes we go off on tangents, and we're allowed to do that. Now, if I had no subscribers and nobody would ever come onto a live stream, then I would say, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But we've got a good group. I don't need to have the largest channel on YouTube. I don't need that. I do this because from my heart, I really want to not only want to connect with other RVers and help them out, and you guys help me out as well, but I want to create a sense of community that even you all can talk amongst yourself and help each other out. That's my goal. That's my dream, to have a community here that, like, let's say before I get online or you guys go on my channel somehow, find each other and chat with each other and help each other. That's my dream. And that's why you're VIPs. because we're going to take this VIP thing, I promise you, to another level. It'll become more than just you're privy to notifications. It's going to become like a little inner circle club. So I'm really excited about this, and I really appreciate every single one of you that is on here. Let's see. Endless RV says the RV community is pretty awesome. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, okay, so has anybody ever heard of, help me out here, has anybody ever heard of the RV Show USA? It's called the RV Show USA. Don says, if I don't like the way you're doing it, Doc, I'll go elsewhere. I love your channel the way it is because of you, Don. And I feel the same about you too, my friend. I mean, I feel like even though most of you I've not met in person, but being here and the fact that we're doing this every 2 weeks now, I think it's much better because it's not I'm not in your face as much. It's every 2 weeks. It's, you can do it twice a month. It's okay. But what was I saying? So has anybody heard of the RV Show USA? Flint says, yes, it's great. I watched the RV Show USA. Cool, thanks. Endless says we're going to be on. So that's what I want to tell you guys. So I was invited to be on the show. It's going to be, Endless, you're going to be on there December 11th. I'm on there December 4th. December 4th, just look it up. The RV Show USA, run by a guy, he's like Alan, I can't remember his name. He calls himself the RV Wingman. Well, all of you watch it. That's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna be on the show. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm supposed to submit some questions, which I hope it's going to be good. I think it'll be good, but so if a lot of you guys can be on there and give me some support, again, that would be fantastic. So RV USA show, it's live streaming, I think on YouTube, I think on Facebook as well, December 4th. I'll try to get you more information if I can. But December 4th is coming up pretty quickly, actually. Yes. So, and I was going to share something else with you. What else was I going to say? Yeah, no, Diana. I've watched a bunch of his videos. He seems to be not only a great interviewer, but like a really good guy. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure he'll be able to get me talking. About what? I don't know exactly. I'm still thinking of the questions I should submit. Maybe you guys can help me with a great question that I could submit to him that he would ask me. That might be, I would look at anything because I'm still trying to figure out a good question for him to ask me. Mark Weiner says, Dave, do you keep your refrigerator drip tray in all the time or just when you defrost? It's a general question for the VIPs. I think it's in there all the time, Mark. I have to check in there now, but I'm pretty sure Yoko and I do not take it out. I don't know if that's best or not. So I'd love to hear what other people are doing as well on that. Oh, Robert, there are questions up above, but I'm talking about questions. Okay, I didn't see all the questions because the thing's going really quickly. I'm so sorry, guys. But I'm talking about the kind of question that you would want to have. I'm being interviewed. I am being interviewed by the RV Wingman on the RV Show USA. So I need questions to submit to him to ask me. Not really. It wouldn't be about RVing. Like the questions would. I mean, they would be about RVing, but they wouldn't be like, so do you something about your refrigerator or something about your generator? How often do you run your generator to keep it going? It wouldn't be like that. It would be more like, tell me. I'm just making this up. But like, tell me why you got into RVing, Dr. Dave, or something like that. Tell me what's the best thing, the thing you like best about RVing. Again, not a good question. I'm just making that up. But I need questions like that he's going to ask me for me to answer on his show. Thanks, RV Butterfly. I'll be fine, of course. Thank you so much. But the better the question I pose to him to ask me, the better. In 2 words, milk leak, so much easier to clean up a spill. Yeah. I think that's why we leave it in, because although I don't think we probably had things drip. But we haven't had any major spills or leaks in our fridge. I know that. So but if we did, maybe that's one reason to keep that tray in. So cool. I was going to say something else too. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's under the freezer section, exactly. So if for some reason, actually, well, this would be more of a problem than just the freezer, than just the drip tray. But God forbid you're out somewhere and you have stuff and you lose power, your refrigerator breaks down, everything starts melting. Well, it's better to have that drip tray in there than to have everything from the freezer not only melt but melt onto the contents of what's in the fridge. So I'm pretty sure we keep it in, but I've got to check to be 100% sure. Flint Firestone asked me, why are you not a full-time RVer? Just because I'm not. I still have a business that I run. As much as Yoko and I like to be in the RV, we don't really want to be full-time because we've got a Class B, and Class B would not be I don't think it would be the best for us to be full-time in. We love it when we're out in it, but we also have a lot of other things we do. I'll share something we did today. And by the way, is anybody looking for a bike rack for your rig? Yoko and I were in the position that we both bought mountain bikes, and we now needed a bike rack to attach to our rig. So when we go camping from now on, we're going to be taking our bikes with us. I know Mark Weiner gave me a great suggestion. I didn't go with that brand. We ended up going with kind of like a more common brand, and we're really happy with it. We bought a Thule bike rack that goes into the 2-inch receiver on the rig. It's very, very, very stable. And we just actually tried it today on Yoko's. We didn't take the rig out today, but we tried it on Yoko's Jeep. And it's solid. Yoko actually put it together. She's the one that put it together. It's solid. It's easy to put the bikes on it. It's very stable once they're on and you're driving. So if anybody is looking if you're thinking about getting a bike rack for your rig, I don't have the number in front of me, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I will, on a future episode or in the show notes, if I remember, I'll give you the type of Thule rack we got. Again, 2-inch receiver, 2-inch piece that goes into the 2-inch receiver. We love it. So Fred is saying, have him ask you why you have a YouTube channel. Oh, that's a great question, Fred. Yeah, that's a real, and we could talk about that one. That's a good one. So I like that one. Thank you very much. Mark says, does the drip tray affect the temp of the refrigerator section? It does provide a small barrier, but the freezer section probably staying colder. Another great question. I don't know that. Does it affect the temperature of the refrigerator? I don't know. I'm going to say no. It's basically a piece of plastic, but I'm not sure. But what would be your concern, Mark? You'd be concerned that the refrigerator would get too cold or the freezer would get too warm if that barrier is not there. I'm not sure. But by the way, Mark Weiner, who's right here, recently got a brand new fridge for his Class B rig, and he loves it. And Mark, if you want to even maybe put a link to the type of fridge you got, it sounds really cool, and I think you might want to share that with some people, Mark. If you're looking for a new fridge, if you want to upgrade, I did not upgrade. I still love our little. It's a little Dometic in our Class B. It's fine as long as it works. I'm not going to spend the money to upgrade anything. Oh, so his concern would be the refrigerator is too warm. I don't know, Mark. I've never had a problem. I just don't know the answer. I've not had a problem. We check our temperature in the fridge with the remote sensor on the thermometer. Here's a question for you guys. What is your ideal refrigerator temperature? When you're on a trip in your rig, what do you like to keep what do you feel best when your refrigerator is blank or a range in this range? What's your best temperature for your fridge? I'm curious to see what you all say. I've heard so many different ones. Okay, and listen, hey, thanks so much for your support and your friendship, and see you on the RV show, and good luck doing it as well. And you, 31 to 38. Is that what it's 30? Oh, 37 to 38. That's a good one. That's good. That's excellent. 40-ish is fine. I agree. 40 and even low 40s is still good. Right. I got a Nova Cool refrigerator. Yeah, that's what Mark Weiner's. That's what he's got. A Nova Cool R3800 Temperature range is 36 to 40. Okay, beautiful. Good. Diana, question, what kind of places do you like to travel to in your RV? Do you prefer places with activities like river rafting or relaxing in? Oh, what a great question, Diana. I'm going to say both. Sometimes I'm in the mood just to go to a campground or wherever we might be and just chill and not do anything. Other times, Yoko and I have gone to places where we take hikes in the mountains, stand-up paddleboarding. I did a video you saw maybe a couple months ago. We were at a beautiful state park where they had stand-up paddleboarding and hiking. It was just incredible. So yeah, I like both. I definitely like to relax and chill and do nothing sometimes. But then other times, I mean, God, see, the best thing about being RVers is we get to choose our backyard. We get to decide what's going to be in our backyard for one night or for 1 year or forever. There's nothing like it. Since Yoko and I got into RVing, I mean, our lives really have changed. And not only from RVing, but I think it kind of gave me the, what would be the right word? Energy, the wherewithal, the confidence to change other things in my life as well. Once I saw that when we made this change to RVing and we became avid RVers, I felt it was easier to make other changes. Like, for example, we became RVers 2.5 years ago, but close to 1 year ago, at the beginning of this year, we moved to Salt Lake City, Utah from the East Coast. I would say the RV life has enabled us, or if that's not the right word, given us the boost to be able to do other things. So it's getting into RVing is no question one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And yeah, I'm a newbie. I'm fairly new, relatively speaking. So Mac says, have him ask, what do you think your channel appeals to? Have him ask, what do you think my channel appeals to? That's a good one. That's a great question because I'm not even 100% sure. Like, am I getting, okay, so you guys you're with me and we're going to get hundreds of people watching the replay. I don't know how, we're getting close to 45 minutes now. I don't really know how long everybody watches. They kind of come and go. But I wonder like who I do appeal to. I don't think I appeal to like the most serious of RVers that only want to talk RV and nothing else. They've got their channels and they watch those, and it's the 100% or 100% RVing. I think I appeal more to, and you guys, you can feel free to tell me because you know who you are more than I do. But I think I appeal more to people that not only are RVers interested in getting into RVing, but also want to socialize and hang out with fun people that are RVers. So yeah, we go off on tangents. We talk about crazy things, and we talk about trolls and stuff like that. And these other channels, they're more serious about RVers and about RVs, and they're not doing all that other stuff. I give you like extra stuff we do here. How far am I from Phoenix? Don says, how far am I from Phoenix? I'm not positive because I've never. So here's, okay, let's figure this out real quickly. I mean, I could go on Google Maps and find out in a second, but we are roughly 4 hours from the Arizona border. 4 hours from the Arizona border of Utah and Arizona. So you still got to go at least another 3+ hours into Arizona to get to Phoenix, 3 to 4 hours. So to answer your question, I just figured it out without even looking at the map. I'm going to say 8 hours. That's my guess. I'm going to say 8 hours from Phoenix. I might be plus or minus a little bit. Diana says, I'm the Dear Abby of RV channels. I take that as the best compliment ever. And we haven't even talked about tonight. I mean, because I really want you to watch, and I want you to watch Robert, The Roads of Life. I really want you to watch Robert's video on new versus used, because I talk about that a lot, and I also am very clear to tell people not to take out loans for RVs. But I do answer all kinds of questions. So that's actually, I love the Dear Abby of RVs. I love it. That's so cool. Dave, I believe you appeal to around the campfire. I love that too, Russell. That's a great way to explain. Just people kind of hanging around the campfire. We talk about RVs around the campfire, but we don't talk about, like when you're sitting around the campfire or the campground, you're not only talking about RVs, you're talking about life. So we've got a group of RVers here that talk about life, right? It's not just camping, but it's life. Because camping can also be a metaphor. RVing can be a metaphor for life. Don't borrow money. I believe you appeal to around the camp. Let's see. Diana agrees with me in big caps. Steven says, why isn't Yoko on here more often? I bet she is much better looking than you. Steven, there is no question. There's no question Yoko is, you would rather look at her all day than look at me. I guarantee that. The funny thing is, it's funny you asked that, Steven, because I was going to try to get Yoko on the show tonight, but somehow I think, okay, I started to tell you this, but I didn't finish it. So here's just a little quick story, because that's where I was talking about what we do at campgrounds. And this is not, okay, I'm going off on a tangent, but okay, here's the story. Yoko and I went mountain biking today, and we're not experienced mountain bikers. And we ended up on a mountain bike trail that was really, I would say probably a intermediate to expert mountain bike trail. It was single track. Don't even ask me how we ended up there. It's too long of a story, but single track, blind curves, down hills, and you can't see. It was really, really, really dangerous. So she's in bed, I think. We're both super tired. I'm drinking some really, really good green tea here, which doesn't really have a lot of caffeine, but somehow I feel energized. But Stephen, you asked the question. It was in my mind to get Yoko on part of the show this evening and just have her say hello to everybody. I promise you I'll get her on a video coming up sometime soon. I promise. Because people actually connect with Yoko really, really well. She is like the kindest soul, very well organized, nice. She helps me out so much in so many things. So I'll get her on the show, but thanks for saying that. Mark says, let's see, what Matt said. Matt says, hey Dave, let me ask you why should you pay cash for a motorhome? Here's why I ask. My richest customer financed his motorhome, and when I asked why, he said makes more investing than, I asked why, he said he makes more investing than the interest. Well, it's a great question, Matt. I can answer that too. He might be wealthy. That doesn't mean wealthy people don't always make the best financial decisions. He's pretty much saying that he can make more investing. Is that a guarantee? If that's a guarantee, then why wouldn't we all refinance all of our vehicles, max them out, refinance everything we have, and put it into the stock market? Because you can make more money than you're paying on your loan. That's what he's saying. You're paying a certain amount of interest on your loan. Let's say just make this number up 5%. I'm totally made up number. Don't worry. But you can get 10% in the stock market. Well, he's leaving one thing out of that. He's leaving risk, because if there is a lot of risk. Now, don't get me wrong. I've got money invested in the stock market. My retirement is invested in the stock market. So I believe in risk, but I would not borrow money. Let's say I don't even own a house anymore, because our only house in Maryland is for sale. It's on the market and we're renting here. But if I had a paid for house, I wouldn't borrow money. If I had a paid for house, I would not borrow money on that house at 5%, 4%, whatever it might be, and invest it in a stock market where I think I can get 10% or 12% or 8%. I just wouldn't do it, because again, there is risk. Things can happen, and then you're out of luck. Because if the market crashes, if something happens, just something tanks or something goes weird, and it does happen, it's happened, then you're on the hook for something you might not be able to pay for. It's very, very, very dangerous. I hope it makes sense. Let's see. So, Matt, I hope I answered your question there. Like I said, if you Well, let me think. Let me see how to phrase this. Let me see how to phrase it. Um, how did my buddy Dave Ramsey has a great way to phrase it. I can't think. It's kind of like reverse engineering, reverse thinking. I can't remember exactly. I'll share it with you another time. Well, thanks, Matt. Thanks anyway. And see, here's my feeling, and we don't have to debate this now. We don't have to get into too deep. But I've been on the planet a long time, and I've learned a lot about personal finance. I really have. What I've learned is, if you've got the money to buy something and you want it, then you should buy it, as long as it doesn't affect your retirement. Because you need to have a retirement plan that's going and going, and so when you stop working, you're going to have an income. So as long as it doesn't affect your retirement or your investments. But if you want something, you should buy it, because there's three things you can do with money. You can invest it, you can spend it, and you can donate it, give it away. Those are the only three things. Save and invest, that's one category. Spend or give away. I have a rule that I live by. I don't borrow money. Now the exception would be I let it fly with a house, because not many people have just like 500 grand lying around and they could just pay cash for a house. But if you can, it's better. But other than a house, if you're going to buy something, you better be able to afford it. That means if you want to buy a $40,000 car or a $60,000 RV rig or something like that, you better have the cash to pay for it. Because if you don't have the cash to pay for it, it means you can't afford it. So instead of taking a loan out for money that you don't have, buy something that's less expensive. Buy something that's used. My buddy Matt, and I don't get a commission on this. I wish Matt would send me a commission, but he doesn't have to. My buddy Matt would be happy to put you into something that you can afford and pay cash for, because that's, in my opinion, and it might not be everybody's opinion, but in my opinion, that's how we live, and that's how we can get wealthy as we get older, because we're not borrowing money and paying notes all over the place. So let's see. RV Butterfly said, "Good night, Jared." YouTube is, if somebody writes a comment that has a possible curse word or something like that, YouTube holds it for me to review. And I can see RV Butterfly said "good night" or "night, Jared," but she spelled "night" wrong, and they thought that was going to be another word, which they would hold back. So I know there was no bad intent there, so I approved it. Anyway, that's my feeling on personal finance. If all I could afford, if I were getting a car and all I could afford was a $5,000 car, that's what I would buy, just because you own it, you're not paying on a loan, and you're able to take the money that you would have paid on a loan and invest that for your retirement. It makes sense. Mark says, in the case of a house, you can make money. It's all location, location, location. Don't buy more house than you need. I would agree with everything you said there. Yeah, Mark. Yeah. In fact, once Yoko and I bought our RV, we felt that we downsized our lives totally. That's why we sold our house in Maryland. We owned it, sold our house in Maryland, or selling our house in Maryland, moved to Salt Lake City, where we are renting a house, and it's a smaller house. I don't need a mansion. I don't need a lot of stuff. Those days are gone. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you happier. Yoko and I are minimalizing, becoming more minimalistic, and it gives me more of a sense of peace. That's not to say I don't have things. I have some things, but not nearly as many things as I used to have. And I'm 100 times happier now. 100 times happier. Is that Boo Boo? I thought I heard Boo Boo. Oh, hold on. I've got a special guest. It's not Yoko, but hang on. Boo Boo, come here. Oh, we have a special guest tonight. Boo Boo came down to say hello to me and to you. Boo Boo so here's what I'm going to share with you. Boo Boo travels everywhere. Boo Boo is 19 years old. He's a rescue cat. He's 19 years old, and these days we take him everywhere. His two buddies that he lived with all of his life here, They passed away about 2 years ago. It's just Boo Boo and me and Yoko. And wherever we travel now, in the RV or even in our car, we bring Boo Boo along with us. He looks right into the camera. He's better than I am. Boo Boo, go ahead. I know you want to go, but I'm so glad I had a special guest tonight, at least. Yoko couldn't make it, but Boo Boo made it on the camera. Boo Boo, Diana says hello. Traveler 320 says if you're renting and you don't like your neighbors or there is some aggravation and you're renting, so a quick 1 month notice. See, that's a great point. Now I'll share something with you. When I got divorced back in the year 2001, I bought a house in an area that I thought I liked, but next to me were the neighbors from hell. They were really, really bad. It was not peaceful. They were noisy. I'll just tell you, the father, the man, the husband of the house, his nickname was Smokey. All he did all day long was smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, and his kids had parties all night long, every night. It was horrible. So yeah, I owned that house. So I had to ultimately put the house on the market. It's a hassle. I had to move. When you rent, something goes wrong, you move out. And now that we are more minimalistic and don't have a lot of stuff, we could probably move out in 10 minutes. It's a little exaggeration. We can move out quickly if we had to. So I've been a homeowner for a long, long time, since I got my original marriage in 1980. I think 1980 is probably when we bought our first home, 80, 81, something. I don't know when it was, something like that. So I've been a homeowner, and then I've been a homeowner for decades. There's something about renting that actually feels really good. And if you're going to tell me that no, but being a homeowner is going to prepare you financially for life, and it not necessarily. Not necessarily. It can, but you can also make a bad choice in homes. So I'm renting and love it. That's all I have to say. Love it. Love it. RV Butterfly says there are a few people that travel with cats. I bet there are more than a few. I bet there are a lot. Diana's going to travel with their cats. Robert says Boo Boo is cuter than you. Of course, Robert. Probably everybody's cuter than me, but I gotta do what I do. So, oh my God, let her do the videos from now on. I'll put Boo Boo right up here. He'll do it. It's a he. He'll do it. He'll do a good job. He'll command an audience, I'm sure. So Flint says sold house in Sykesville, Maryland. So Flint, we were like basically neighbors. We lived in Reisterstown, but we lived in the rural part of Reisterstown, which is, well, we were not that far from you. I had to go through Maryland 32 and Sykesville sometimes if I wanted to get to 70. So we were neighbors. Sold house in Sykesville. Now we live on a 26-foot boat in Florida for 6 months and RV the other 6 months. Flint, you have a great life. Congratulations to you. You are doing it right. It sounds like you're doing what you love, and that is a great thing. Beautiful. Mark says life is always a risk. You can't control everything. Absolutely. But we learn to minimize our risks. Are you able to come on and say hello? Yoko, can you just show your face? Can you show your face? Okay, you don't have to. Yoko stopped down just to see Boo Boo for a second, but Boo Boo was right over. He just walked by here. I'm not sure where he was. He was on. So she's not. Let's say she's not camera ready exactly right now. So we'll try to get her on next time. Hello, Yoko from Robert. Hello, Yoko. Boo Boo was not a baba. Boo Boo was not a baba. Let's see. Okay, guys, guess what? It comes the time when we are approaching 1 hour here, and I don't want to keep you forever because you guys have lives. You guys have things to do. I want to take a second and thank you so much for spending time with me this evening. It's not just me, but you can see we've got this great community of people. When we all start to know everybody's names, and start referring to each other and ask questions. That's my goal, to get you all together and have some fun. And again, if you're not a VIP, make sure you go back, and I'm not going to put that thing up again, but just text the word VIP to that number. You saw it before. I'm not going to do it. Even Robert has a life. Yes, even Robert has something he's got to get back to. Maybe make another video for the following week or something like that. So let me just make sure there's nothing I forgot, because I take this seriously, and I actually make notes of things I want to run by you guys. So let me make sure there's nothing I forgot. I think I got it all. You guys rock. And as Kimberly Mason says, God bless each one of you. I will say the same thing. God bless. It's an honor, a privilege, and pleasure to have you all on this evening. And like I said, we're doing this every 2 weeks, twice a month, guaranteed twice a month. I will try to do it every 2 weeks. So it won't be next Sunday. It'll be the Sunday after. Hope I'm in town. Yeah, I should be around. I should be good. Laura Lane, thank you. Called some of me live. Thanks. It is a great community. Thanks so much. So glad you're here, guys. Yeah, so we're doing, okay, so before I leave, we're doing the live stream twice a month, guaranteed, every other week, hopefully. So next Sunday we'll be off. We won't do the live stream, but I'll see you all. I mean you. I'm pointing to you. See, I'm pointing right to the camera there. I mean you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. In the meantime, remember what I said about the video on Tuesday. Watch it. Look out for the trolls. Look out for the people that want to come take my head. I need your help, guys. Love you all. Thanks so much for being with me tonight. This is really, really a great night. Thanks so much. See you.